Hey guys, this is Jeremy from 70 Productions, and I want to connect how Scripture meets social media. So I'm currently writing a book for Church Mag that is about how we can have our church set up a digital ministry. And it looks at a lot of different things: social media, blogging, websites, advertisements online, newsletters, all these different things that we can be able to set up our own digital ministry, whether we're a church that is just starting to interact with a soundboard and projector, or a huge church that has a satellite everywhere across the US but doesn't necessarily have a great digital ministry. And so in this process, I've actually been connecting really well with social media right now, just putting a huge emphasis on this. And one of the questions comes up in my mind is, how does our faith interact with social media? I actually did this as my job for quite a while, and so I haven't necessarily given it much thought of what does Scripture say that might actually impact us as far as being able to do social media online. And I actually came up with 3 ideas. The first, Matthew 28, the Great Commission, the idea that we are supposed to take everything we have in the gospel to the ends of the world. If you're like me, I haven't actually left the US. I've gone to Hawaii, so I've left the continental US, but I've never gone to Mexico. I've never even actually stepped foot into Canada. I've been on Canadian waters, but that doesn't count. And so I've never actually gone beyond the United States. And the fact of I could connect with my community, I can connect with my family, my neighbors, but to be able to share outside of that, I have not done very well. And social media gives me the opportunity to be able to go beyond myself, to be able to present the gospel to a lot of different people. Which brings me to the second one, which is in Colossians, when Paul talks about clothing ourselves with compassion, clothing ourselves with all these different things about what the gospel means, so that we are able to be Christians to others. And so just to be able to have this, it doesn't mean that we're wishy-washy. It doesn't mean that we don't stand by our morals and that we stand by our faith and what that means, but that we are clothed in compassion. I think that online, whenever we're in social media, whether we're talking about blog comments, YouTube comments are renowned for there being trolls online, that we are able to do everything that we can to be compassionate to others. And sometimes I think that we are able to put together a great ministry, it really connects to people, and we tweet about it, and because there's no context there, we actually miss the mark as far as compassion is concerned. And so I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that concept. The final one is in Proverbs 27, and Proverbs 27 says to not boast in yourself, but only when called upon do you share. And the idea of social media is that we talk about ourselves, that we talk about what's on our mind, that we share the different memories that we have. In fact, Facebook has that popular saying about what's on your mind. And so how do we be able to do the gospel, to live out what Scripture says and still only boast when asked? And so we can talk about Jesus, we can talk about our neighbors, we can talk about our community, but what happens if the church doesn't actually boast in itself? You can talk about your events, you can invite people, but we don't boast until somebody asks. And so what would that look like as far as ministry goes? So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on those 3 scriptures. Are there others out there that you think directly aligns with how to do social media and a digital ministry? And what is your pushback on these different things? Because those are not easy callings. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Leave your comments below, and we'll talk to you guys next time.